Okay, now that we've dealt with character, let's look at the next thing, integrity. Integrity is something that is also scarce these days. Integrity is seriously scarce. I want us to look at character as the tree. Just imagine a character is a tree that is bearing fruit. Integrity now becomes the fruit that the tree yields. So you cannot have integrity without building character over time. And when we live in a society where the children lack character, there's moral decadence. We blame it on the fact that children of nowadays, without identifying that parents of nowadays are the ones raising children that are proud, children that cannot greet. People may say, what's all this all about? What does greeting have to do with this? I've seen parents over time try to pamper their children. I've seen it of severally. Oh, can't you greet? And I've also met with families that their parents don't even have to tell them that greeting is very important. It's eluding us these days. Greeting is a form of bribe. And many times I've seen situations in schools and parents say, the white people, do they greet? Wow, Africans, we take things too personal. Let's look at letter writing. Very important you addressed a letter. Why do we say hello and not what do you want on the phone? So greeting is important. And if we extend it, look at the Asians, look at different people with their different culture in that with their different cultural diversities. It's very important we inculcate those things into our children. And even if we want to copy something from the Western world, why don't we copy things that had value? Why are we copying the moral decadence? Why are we copying the wrong things from those, in the Western world? Why not let us inculcate the right things? Now back to greeting. I remember saying, if greeting indeed is not a form of bribe, I remember seeing a video on Instagram recently about a young boy that was on a bus. And as this young boy, it should be like 3 years old, immediately got into the bus, he was waving at everybody. Hello, how you doing? Good morning, guys. It was being pleasant to them. And everybody was responding to him. That's to say that when you greet, you warm people's heart. I've seen severally when children you just walk into their homes, they don't even know how to greet. You understand? They don't know how to even address. Zero etiquette, zero morals, and parents will just give the excuse, oh, people think my child is proud. But children of nowadays, your child indeed is proud. So let's begin to correct these things, because we cannot be everywhere. We cannot be there always. Many parents these days feel that they can handle things, but you can not always be there. When the child is in the university having to face a lecturer, let's forget anything that has to do with maybe scandals and the rest of it, and you walk and you don't even know how to greet. What does that say about you? We need to start looking deep into these things. So integrity is the state of being whole, consistent. Whole means one. That's why we identify God as one, is the same. Integrity, consistent and honest in all you do, so that when they call you, you will do this. I remember a parent coming and saying this about her son, that this my son will never lie. And it's a thing I've experienced about the child. And the child said, why would I lie? Let me do it this way. That she's trying to even make him understand that sometimes you just have to bend things. But I try to remind such parents that you built him on this kind of foundation. Why do you want to? You see that many of us even want to bend our children so that they'll be accepted by an immoral society. Please, for those of us that want to do that, let's stop doing that. Honest in all you do, publicly and privately. It means living by your values without compromise. Many parents will compromise these days, but still we talk about the children of nowadays. Importance of integrity to life's purpose. Purpose without integrity leads to hypocrisy and collapse. No matter how you try to, this thing is good, over time, the truth will unveil itself. Integrity ensures your life is aligned with your values and vision. Bringing me back to what we say. Do we as parents have values? Do we as parents have vision? Because it's what we have, we sell to our children. If we don't have these things, how do we expect it to work for our children? It brings peace of mind and earns lasting respect. I spoke about a child recently. In the video when we talked about character, that she will never compromise. That is it. Over time, when it looked as if things were not working, even her mother was crying that this, you understand, that was going on. Things eventually worked, and she is one out of many. And we need to start building many, not one out of many of them just like that, if we want the world that we desire to come to being. The next we want to talk about is skilling up. How are we allowing our children skill up? In what ways are we allowing them to skill up? They can only skill up if they've discovered their purpose and their passion. What does it mean to skill up? To skill up means to develop or improve your abilities, knowledge, and competencies in a particular area. Many of us just look at it that go to the university, get a BSc, get a BA, finish from school, go for a master's, go for a PhD. It's just the same routine. Nothing is wrong with gaining all these things, but how important are they to your child's purpose and passion? And it's very important that we are skilling up in our areas of relevance. Has your child discovered the area of relevance, or is just moving along with status quo? To skill up means to develop or improve your abilities, knowledge, and competence in a particular area. Many of us are just, go study this, study that. We keep living in crisis if we don't identify it. Let's identify it early enough. It's the intentional act of learning new skills. Many people don't skill up because they don't see the importance. How do they know the importance? When you identify yourself, for instance, as a teacher, you are passionate about it, you identify your purpose in it, it will not be hard wanting to skill up in that area because you have a vision. Okay, I want to be a global teacher. I want to make impact in the lives of children with purpose. I want them to identify their source. I want them to have their identity. I want them to understand, why am I here? Because that's the kind of question that locks in the heart of every man. We all have that in common all over the world, irrespective of your tribe, irrespective of creed. So it is the intentional act of learning new skills or refining existing ones to become more effective, relevant, and impactful. Today, I spoke with a young girl and I asked her, what are you doing about yourself? What's the next step? Do you still want to remain here? She was just like, I want to study, I want to go to school. I now say, okay, just learn something. I said, what? And maybe to just fix lashes and this. And I said, what is it you are really passionate about? And she said, agricultural science. I was taken aback because that's one out of many. And I told her that, do you know that that thing you are passionate about is the future? Because studies have it that in the year 2050, farming is going to be the biggest business. Now, imagine she has not had someone to call her attention to that thing which she's passionate about that can solve the problem of the world. So it's very important we start skilling up our children to be critical thinkers and problem solvers. That is what it means to skill up, to develop your abilities and competence in a particular area of learning. Okay? Yes. refining existing ones to become more effective, relevant, and impactful. Do we know that there are people known as soil ecologists? These days, we identify that there are some certain crops that grow in other countries that normally the weather would not should not accommodate such crops. So this is how we are able to sustain life. This is how we are able to solve problems, sustain the challenges of the future. Importance of skilling up. Purpose alone is not enough. Having a clear purpose is powerful. Yes, I want to be a musician, but is that enough? That will not be enough. But without the skills to back it up, what kind of music do I want to go into? I am a teacher. Oh yes, I studied biology. Is that all that is all about me? No, I later discovered that I'm not just a teacher who is passionate about teaching biology for the children to get A's. I'm passionate about making them identify the why they are doing what they are doing and identify what they are supposed to be doing. So without the skills to back it up, you will struggle to bring that purpose to life. Passion without skill. So we need purpose, we need passion, we need skill to move on. We need to consistently build. Many persons just feel that once I have money, once I'm just there, I have money, it's all enough. No, we need to skill up. We need to keep improving till we die. There's no place called there. I often tell my student that there's no place called there. You just have to keep, building yourself because you are a treasure. And treasures, where do we find treasures? We don't find treasures on the surface. We dig deep to find treasures. So passion without skill can lead to frustration and limited impact. You become more relevant and useful the more skilled you are. Please, let's get it right. Skilling in the areas of gifts. I recently spoke to a teacher. I told him that, listen, what is your plan? And he was just like, I just want to go and do masters, go. And I said, have you discovered your purpose? I want you to skill up in your purpose. This teacher is fantastic. I'm saying this with evidences. He has taught students to get like a 97% in JAM, in maths, in physics. He has taught them to be high flyers, and is fantastic with young people. Morally, he builds them up. And I was just like, okay, why do you want to do your masters in what? Haven't you identified the fact that you are really passionate about young people? Why don't you, sometimes it warrants us taking a step back. Many times we feel that forward movement equals progress. Someone who has a master's, a PhD, a blah, 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 we feel that is success. But sometimes success means taking the step back and identifying where we can skill up. I remember seeing a video of a man that said he studied medicine, but later on he went to London Business School for a 1-month course, and that 1-month course was the skill he needed to, catapult to that place he wanted. So skilling up goes beyond what we have laid down as the trend for success. Passion without skill, okay, I've said that. Purpose is about contribution, and contribution requires capacity. Are we building our children in the right capacity? Many of us are building them in good capacity, but are we building them in right capacity? Skilling up increases your capacity to serve and solve problems. It positions you for opportunities. It positions you for opportunities. People and organizations are drawn to those who can do the work well. Let's look at the world today. The world answers to problem solvers. We are still going to unravel more, where we will see that indeed the world answers to problem solvers. It positions you for opportunities, and people and organizations are drawn to those who can do the work. Skilling up in the right things will make you, a person that can. Skilling up in the right areas makes you a person who can even indulge in multiple streams of income. It's that simple. When you skill up in the right things, like I made mention of that teacher. The teacher is passionate, is working in purpose, and is already doing it unknowingly. But once he decides to skill up, identify those areas, and begins to skill up in them, he is building credibility, is building trust, such that sometimes, I know so many times where I don't even have to, tender my CV. The competence, the work comes based on recommendations, and recommendations based on the credible relationships we have built. Then the credibility will stand for character over time and integrity. So people and organizations are drawn to those who can do the work well. Skilling up opens doors, earns you respect, and gives you platforms to express your purpose with influence. Please, let's note the fact that we keep talking about purpose and influence. Importance of skilling up: it builds confidence and credibility. When you are skilled, you don't just talk purpose, you walk it boldly. It becomes a reflection. Everywhere you go, it is oozing out of you. I remember speaking and hearing the voice of a man one day that was speaking, and from where I was, it was not just speaking, his speech had a lot of reflection, and I kept asking, who is this man? I had to stand up from where I was and go there and just want to identify whom the person is. That's what it means to skill up. Skills are built over time. In the world where parents want their children to have double promotion, they want them to jump the gun, they want to cut corners. How do we, become such problem solvers? Purpose often evolves, so should you. Imagine you're still stuck in the dark ages. You're not teachers these days, schools, institutions are seeking tech-savvy teachers that can bring more than just the first class from the university, teachers that can, turn the world around, that can impact learning such that the children now become a reflection of you. Life changes, people change, needs change. Purpose requires growth. That's why I said skilling up is a lifetime thing. Many people just feel, okay, after I've finished my BSc, there's no way to skill up again. I'll go for my master's, I'll go for PhD, and that is all. So this status quo has just limited us, and I said, what more do I have? What more can I achieve? Purpose requires growth. By continually skilling up, you stay adaptable and prepared for the next phase of your journey. Skilling up makes you new, irrespective of your age. Let's look at those high flyers over time that have been consistent in the work they do. Let's look at them. What do? They are always skilling up. Okay? Skill is the bridge between your dreams and your destiny. To fulfill your life's purpose with excellence, you must continually learn Learning is a lifetime thing. We need to start building our children to be lifelong learners. We need to learn, we need to grow and skill up. The world doesn't just reward good intentions, it rewards people who are prepared and equipped to deliver. We have so many graduates that are not employable because they have not skilled up. They've not taken the pain. Skilling up is pain to grow. The will to win is not enough. Everyone has that. Everyone wants to win. What matters is the will to prepare. Let your skill give voice, form, and power to your purpose. And I want to say this, the essential pillars that uphold a purposeful life. To fulfill your life's purpose meaningfully and sustainably, competence equips you, credibility earns you trust, credible relationships sustain your network, character guides your decision, integrity anchors your actions. They are not optional. Very important. We need to see this. They are not optional. They are essential pillars that uphold a purposeful life. Let's also not forget hard work and smart work. Let me quickly differentiate it. Hard work is very essential. It's very important for you to work hard. Let's look at these two instances. Who is working hard? Who is working smart? A child is having exams tomorrow, and the child decides to start reading for 10 hours straight to, work. To meet up. That is hard work. It's good to work hard. But a smarter child is the one who has prepared before time, and when it's asked to the exams, probably resting or revising what the child has learned over time. So hard work is good. Let's know when to work hard and work smart. Working smart should work hand in hand. Okay, another thing I've observed over time is that many young ones, they don't know the differences between role models, coaches, and mentors. Now, you ask, who is your role model? They don't know what to look out for in a role model. So who is a role model? A role model is a person whose behavior, success, or values are admired and imitated. And this is one thing I look out for in role models: consistency. And when I ask people, okay, you want to be a musician, who is your role model? And they call the person, and I say, have you evaluated the person's life? Because when you call somebody your role model, you are following the person steadily. Is that the kind of life you want to design for yourself? Is that the kind of life you really want? Is that they're not saying, no, I don't like this aspect of his life. So why is it your role model? Because a role model is a person whose behavior, success, or values are admired and imitated. Relationship can be a role model. What kind of relationship do you have with a role model? Many role models can be indirect. You may not know or interact with them personally. For example, I admire Ben Carson for his resilience and achievement, even if I have never met him. That's Ben Carson. So these three men happen to be my role model: the late Dr. Miles Monroe, Bishop Oyedepo, and Ben Carson. This is how I chose my role models. I watch out for consistency. I watch out for godliness. I watch out for morals. I watch out for values and look at them over time, because consistency is key. So when these people have this consistency over time, it's easy to trace them. Recently, Ben Carson, in July 6, 2025, Ben Carson and his wife have celebrated 50 years of marriage. This is a man doing so well in his career. He's a living legend. And aside being a living legend, he is godly. He did not separate his faith from his work. These days, I'm speaking as a teacher. We see so many people that call themselves pastors. We see so many people that call themselves men of God that are not consistent. They are indulging, even those that own schools. We see them so prayerful and still indulge in examination malpractice. I recently heard from one of my learners that in the school they ask them to fast and pray so that the invigilators will permit them to indulge in examination malpractice. And I'm just wondering that, what is this? Where are the values? Where is the godliness that we talk about? Talk is cheap, execution is key. So we need to look out for all these things. So when you are choosing a role model, make sure they lead by example and they are being consistent. They are consistent with your values. They are consistent with what you want, what you stand for, what you are living for. I admire Dr. Miles Monroe. I've read many of his books. Ben Carson, Bishop Oyedepo. I have watched them over time. The late Miles Monroe, he is dead now, but I feel now that he's more alive even after his death than ever before, because the works he has done still speaking, very relevant. So that is what we are discussing, that we should prepare our children for, eternal relevance. This is a man who is dead but still living. Okay, now who is a coach? A professional or trained individual who helps you achieve specific goals or improve performance. I know there's so many talks about Donald Trump, but there's something I admire about him, is his resilience. Do you know how much it is? I don't know the kind of, what should I say? Shock absorber he uses. Definitely, I've read one of his books that it says, if you hit him once, he will make sure he hits you twice or thrice, or maybe even 6 times harder. So one thing I admire about Donald Trump is his resilience, even in the face of adversity. So if he brings a course out about how to do it, I believe I would want to take that course, because he has proved it. Yes, when you look at your role models, just check out, they've proved it, and Donald Trump is proving it. So I can take business ideas from him, because I know he's a fantastic businessman. So if you keep your resentment aside, I'm a kind of person that keeps all this resentment aside and looks out for the real thing. Am I going to get the real thing out of it? Fine. So I can go learn from it. So a professional or trained individual who helps you achieve specific goals or improve performance. Look at the word, achieve specific goals. I want to be a fantastic businesswoman. I want to be a fantastic businessman. I've seen Donald Trump do it over and over again. I want to improve my performance. What does it mean? Oh, it's not easy to be hated and still keep showing up. Oh, Donald Trump does some really unconventional things, and it does it, and it's, it's like he goes away with it. So I want to understand how he built such resilience. So what is the relationship? Let's look at the relationship quickly. Structured, short or medium term. Often formal with clear goals and sessions. Can you say yes? So example, a life coach helping you set and reach career or personal development targets. Key features: performance and result oriented. They focus on skills, strategies, and accountability. And I believe Donald Trump will make a very fantastic coach. Okay, mentor. A mentor is a more experienced person who offers guidance, wisdom, and support over time. Relationship is personal and long-term. So many people that I would love to be my mentors. For now, I do not have any mentor, most especially in my area of career, because many people compromise in this career, in this nature of our business as a teacher. Yes, so it's usually informal and it's built on trust. Yes, so you have close relationship, like you're closely knit. For example, a senior teacher helping you grow in your career by sharing experience and giving advice. So because this person is a mentor, you still have to look for some things in a role model into this mentor too. So because it must be with your values. Some persons I would have wanted to be my mentor, but because they don't have those values, it cannot work. They just end up being coaches to me. So key feature guidance. They help you grow through shared knowledge and personal experiences. I'll quickly want to share the story of Mr. Adebayo Aderebigbe. Recently, I was at a training of Mr. Adebayo Aderebigbe, and it was thought-provoking. It was mind-shifting training, and it got me to start thinking bigger and better about myself.